Thanks so much for watching the Microsoft Small Business Summit, coming to you in this great video player with lots of helpful links popping up all over the place. Here, there, everywhere. Michael Murphy is also here to answer all the questions you've ever had about Vista. And I know I had a lot of them. We talked earlier. What can Vista do for your small business, for example, that XP cannot do? And what's it going to do? Is it going to be compatible on all my applications? Please welcome Michael Murphy to the Small Business Summit. Great to see you, Michael.
Good to see you
again,
Penny.
Thanks for being with us so much.
Thanks.
You know, I have to tell you, having talked with you, I am just so much more confident about even like looking at my computer now.
Oh, good.
So thank you for that. All right, so let's just first of all talk with folks briefly about the difference between XP and Vista, the new operating system.
There's a lot of differences. Now, that's not to say that it looks that much different, right? If you've been using XP, you should be able to transition to Windows Vista very readily, right? The things are where they used to be. It looks very much the way that the operating system has, right? But what you can't see is all the wonderful stuff that's happening under the covers in the architecture. And the reality of Windows Vista is just putting Windows Vista on my network, I become more secure because of things that we've talked about, like user account control, the anti-phishing filter, and Internet Explorer in protected mode. All of that means that I am more secure against the emergent threats of the 21st century Internet.
Right, and they are everywhere.
And they're
Those
everywhere.
are significant upgrades.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they mean a lot
absolutely.
to your customer, of course, too.
Absolutely.
You know, we already have emails and phone calls coming in, so I'm going to start with that right away, Michael. Here's an instant message. This person is asking, what is Vista SP1?
Okay, so Vista SP1, and this is a really important milestone for us because what SP means is service pack. And so a service pack is a major change to the operating system. What it does is it rolls up all of the hot fixes, security updates, all those important updates that we've put out over the course of the last now, 15, 16 months since Vista's been out, right? And it puts them into one place, plus it adds new functionality to the operating system. And so it gives me, for example, one of the things that SP1 does is there are new drivers, right? And we talked a little bit earlier about drivers, right? That's what lets the operating system talk to the hardware.
Right.
There are new drivers that will let my laptop run on battery almost half again as long as it was before. Now, for all of us that are in, you know, you got to get on a plane, you got your battery, you got 3 hours of life. Well, wouldn't it be great to have 4 hours of life?
Sure.
You know, bang, SP1.
Okay, so it fixes some of the little things that weren't just exactly in place when you first started. Okay, so if you're out there and you have a question about Vista, I know a lot of you have the new operating system on your computer. Just call us, email us right now, and we'll get to you right away and you get to talk with Michael yourself, because we are live right now. Okay, so we have another email. I'd love to read this one because it's a pretty technical question. This is from Delmar Sanderson. You think he's like emailing maybe from like Finland or something? That's cool.
Or Philly.
Exactly. One of the two. His question is, can Windows Mobile 6 based PDA, okay, let me read this right. Can Windows Mobile 6 based PDA smartphones be upgraded to Windows Vista?
Okay, the short answer to that question is no. And the reason for that is because Vista is an operating system intended for a full-blown PC, right? So it requires a certain level of horsepower to run the thing. When we look at the operating system on a portable device like a PDA or a smartphone, what we need is something a little more lightweight. And what that is Windows Mobile 6, right? Or probably a lot of us are running Windows Mobile 5 right now, but upgrades to Windows Mobile 6 will be available soon, depending on who your provider is and who your manufacturer is.
Okay, so just be patient.
Just be patient, it's coming.
It is.
For you.
All right. Now, one of the questions that we heard in the green room was somebody saying, isn't there like end of life coming for Windows XP? And if we don't upgrade in a certain time period, it's all gonna blow up, and everything that we have on XP is gonna be gone. Now,
well,
these are how these dangerous viral rumors start, huh?
That's hardly the case, right?
Okay,
right?
right.
So let's dispel that mythology. But the reality is, right now, if you think about it, we had Windows 3.1, we had Windows 95, we had Windows 98, right? And as time goes by and we get away from these earlier versions of the operating system, we simply cannot provide the same level of support, what we would call mainstream support, where there's phone support and there's online support and there's all kinds of support, right? So as we get farther and farther away from the date of the original operating system publication, we reduce those levels of support. And so when we look at Windows XP, the end of life for mainstream support is April of 2009. And so you want to take that into consideration. Now, that's not to say that people are going to be left with nothing, right? Certainly for anybody who's got an independent partner maybe who comes in and services your machines, certainly they're going to continue to provide you support for XP. You just may not be able to call Microsoft Product Support Services and get that help. And of course, all the docs will be online, all the documentation will be online for several years to come yet.
Right, so no worries, even though there is a deadline for mainstream support.
There is a deadline for mainstream support. It is April of 2009. I think that people will find that there's still a lot of support out there after that. But it is a consideration. You know, if you count on Microsoft Product Support Services, you know, be aware of that April 2009 date.
All right, so we have a question here from Richard from St. Louis. He said, I sell sports memorabilia out of my home. I want to get a new laptop with Vista. That's your customer out there, and I'm confused, though, about which version to buy. It looks like there is a Vista Business Edition, but it sounds like you're recommending maybe Vista Ultimate instead. What are the differences, and which one might be right for me?
That's a great question, Richard. For you, if you're an independent business person, and you intend to have all the information that drives your business on your laptop, then I would really encourage you to look at Vista Ultimate Edition. And the primary reason for that is because there's a functionality in Ultimate that doesn't exist in the other versions. And that functionality is BitLocker. BitLocker drive encryption. With BitLocker, I can encrypt the entire contents of the drive, and then I know if that laptop gets stolen or falls out of my possession that the data is safe, right? Nobody can get at that data. And so if all the information that drives my business is on that machine, boy, I want to do everything I can to protect it. It's well worth the investment. Additionally, because you do sports memorabilia and stuff online, there may be additional functionality in Vista that you can exploit too.
Great answer. Yeah. We talked about this just briefly when we were talking about the drivers and how to upgrade hardware. But a lot of people are wondering, will Vista run all my printers, my scanners, the hardware that I've already invested in?
And that's a very fair question, right?
Yeah, and we only have 15 seconds, Michael, so.
Okay, so here's what you do. If you're going to upgrade an existing machine, you run the Check Upgrade Compatibility tool. And what that's going to do is it's going to tell you what hardware will not be compatible with Vista.
All right, so you know immediately.
You know immediately what you're getting into. And of course, the good news is now, 15 months out from the initial release, there are lots of drivers available for lots of hardware out there that weren't originally.
Great. Wonderful advice once again and information. Michael Murphy, thanks for being with us.
Pleasure to see you.
All right, now if you want more information about Vista, and if you want to just go to this website, you'll get everything you want to know, Microsoft.com/smallbusiness.